much for being here. Thank you for checking in on your regular current astrology. As you know, as above, so below. So we look to the stars and the way the planets move across the backdrop of the stars to give us some inkling as to what kind of energies are playing out right here down on Earth. And we've been doing this for thousands of years. It's a very cohesive system that allows us to reflect what's going on in our lives based on what is happening in the skies. So we look to that in hopes of finding out information that will help us live our lives with more sense of security and peace and prosperity and success. At least that's what I do it for, and I'm glad that you're here with me. Today is Sunday, January 12, 2026. Can you believe it? I feel like I live in the far future in 2026. We start this week tuning into our own power and authenticity. The moon in Scorpio always invites a deep dive into one's personal experience. And it all comes down to how you are using your power. When you turn within, you want to ask yourself, have I been using my powers for good? With an intention of doing no harm, to provide support and healing where I may. We all may be asking ourselves whether we are doing everything we can with the power we have at this time to create the changes that we so desperately need to see right now. It's the desperation that worries me, friends. Desperation breeds desperation. Desperate people do desperate things. And desperation is survival mode, and survival mode is about as authentic as it gets. The moon is in Scorpio today, Sunday through Tuesday, the 13th. So while we are all searching the depths of our hearts, looking for the truth about ourselves and what strategy serves us best at this time, I just want you to be really kind to yourself. It's an earth heavy chart. It's okay not to hurry. The truth about a lot of what's going on in the world feels like rough terrain. It's a little bit hard to swallow. Don't let it distract you from the truth about who you are, and don't let it overwhelm you into submission. You're capable of making this journey. In addition to the moon being in Scorpio, Venus, the sun, and Mars are all going to square Chiron between now and Tuesday. And that's a pretty intense configuration that indicates obstacles and stop signs, especially focused on your brain and body health, the way you take care of your mental and physical health. Venus's conversation with Chiron is about getting things off your chest at this time, while the sun's conversation with Chiron is advising us to talk with someone who can help, especially if you're struggling. Ask someone for assistance. Like I said, get it off of your chest. Say, this is what is burdening me now, and I wonder if there's somebody, if you can help me, okay? In the immortal words of Bob Dylan, everybody will help you. Some people are very kind. Then Mars comes along and has the same tense conversation with Chiron, reminding us to maintain an active focus on our goals for healing and personal improvement. Sun and Mars and Venus in Capricorn together, and Mercury. That healing and personal improvement is one of those mountains to climb that we're on at this time. Summing it up, okay, today through Tuesday of this week with the moon in Scorpio, some tough introspective work is at hand for many of us. Sun, Venus, and Mars are all in Capricorn after all. We have mountains to climb and problems to solve, and that takes personal integrity. And Chiron is in Aries, being active as the solver of long-standing problems, the healer of hard-to-heal wounds. So those are the planets that are working together. In the next few days, I think we can be very honest with ourselves and others about what we need to feel as if something has been resolved. If we can ask for help where it's needed and accept rational guidance, friends, we'll get the reminders we need to realize that we really are on the right track. And as long as we stay actively engaged in those long-term goals for wholeness, we're on the track for success. So on Tuesday, the moon moves on into Sagittarius, and that's where it will be until Friday. Tuesday through Friday. I always feel a shift from the moon's vibration from Scorpio into Sagittarius, as though I have been inside for a long time and now I want to go outside. Hopefully, upon reflection, we have learned some true stuff about ourselves, and now we're ready to show our updated operating system to the world. The moon in Sagittarius is outgoing and social and interested in having new experiences. And the moon in Sagittarius this time is waning near to new, so let yourself act according to these vibrations of release and letting go and making room for better things to come in. While the moon is in Sagittarius from Tuesday to Friday, Mercury is having a couple of conversations and Venus is having a couple of conversations. Mercury will oppose Jupiter, showing us that some connections we thought were firm are not so firm, friends. It's a good time to say what we have to say, but be aware of saying more than is necessary, okay? And then part of that is because Venus is sextiling Saturn, which helps us realize that the work ahead of us is all going to be a lot easier if we work together. And this is another signature of less talk, more walk. Venus trines Uranus, saying we may be questioning our own choices at this time, but I want to remind you, and this signature says that you can trust your own judgment right now. And then Mercury squares Chiron and says, look before you leap. So, to sum up Tuesday through Friday, many of us will be feeling social and active and ready to get out there and try something different. In the meantime, we are facing some unexpected challenges among our peers, our friends, our cohorts, our coworkers. Hopefully, we can keep our eyes on that greater prize, Capricorn style, and put our differences on the back burner because there is much we can do together to make progress. You may consider doing something that's outside of the norm for you, and you can trust your judgment, but do ask questions. Make sure or try to have all the details before you just dive in, okay? And then on Friday, the moon enters Capricorn, and the personal life focus comes into alignment with our other personal planets. It's all mountains to climb and problems to solve at this point. And we know what we've got to do, and we're ready to get in there and do it. We're talking about sweat of the brow labor, friends, sweat equity in the work that you're, putting in the work that you want to see results from. And while the moon is in Capricorn, this coming Friday through Sunday, a lot of mostly really positive things continue to happen. So toward the end of this week, Venus is sextiling Neptune. We're looking at the possibilities that are available to us, and we're thinking about what we can create for ourselves. And we're saying, yeah, I think I can work with this. The sun in Capricorn is sextiling Capricorn's ruler, Saturn, and this is a powerful vibration for doing work and making progress and feeling successful at the end of the day. And then Venus moves on into Aquarius, inviting us to think about the balance or sense of fair play between you and your peer group, especially out here in the public life and the civic life. And then the sun trines Uranus, our change maker, which brings a change that really helps us put our asses in gear. And Mercury and Mars will meet up at the end of the week. That one can be pretty tiring, friends. Conserve your body, do your best not to hurry, take breaks, look before you leap, like I said before. And then on Sunday, the moon is new in Capricorn just before it moves on into Aquarius. I always talk about the new moon as our reset point, the time to stop clearing out the old. But before we start inviting in the new, we come back to ourselves in the moment of the new moon and simply observe with gratitude what it is that we have to work with. While the moon and 3 other planets are in Capricorn, it seems less than likely that many of us will take such a break for more than a few minutes because that's a very ambitious sign. We've got a bunch of personal planets in this very ambitious and busy sign. Just understand that the planning phase that comes next is best done in community among your peers and civic allies. There are mercurial vibes that follow that new moon on Sunday that give me an impression of being able to enjoy the camaraderie of our friends and cohorts, provide and participate in mutual aid, and do it all with big hearts full of fearless, unstoppable love. If it sounds a little revolutionary, friends, it's not just me. We are making our way into a year with bigger shifts forward than we have seen in a long time. And we're gathering with allies to make ourselves heard. We're fighting back against an oppressive government in the land of the free. And all the guidance that comes with this week, it's here to prepare us because we are all going through big, big changes together. We are all in this boat. We are all going through this together. So, to sum up the guidance for this week, always tell yourself the truth and always use your powers for good. That way, you know that you can trust yourself. Maintain a focus on solving the problems that can help you. Plan before you act and work together. Okay, friends, that is it for today.